All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful, wonderful day. Let me get my camera situated here. Hope you guys are having an awesome, awesome day, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and get these tweets out so everybody can pile in here. Give me 1 second. Perfect. That's all set. Awesome, man. Let's get this going. Henry, good morning. Josh, good morning. Eric, my man. Trading all the way from the hotel. What's going on? Garrett, good morning. K. Petrie, good morning. Tommy Stonks, my man. What's going on? Jamarcus, good morning. Oscar, good morning. Edgar, good morning. Mary, good morning. Legit Movers, Chicago, good morning, my man. Nancy, good morning. Mia Stone, good morning. Ricardo, good morning. Juan, good morning. Awesome, guys. Love to see it. All right, so we're going to wait till around 8:35, and then we'll get things popping here. Obviously, we're going to start with this massive red candle on the SPY, and we're going to get into the cues, and then we'll get into the free alerts, and then we'll get into the questions that you guys may have. All right, so again, we'll wait till 8:35. We'll see how things kind of pan out, and we'll take it from there. Juan, good morning. Daryl, good morning. Alvarez, good morning. CMO, top of the morning. Steve, good morning. Mehul, good morning. Ilias, good morning. Good morning from Singapore. What's going on? Daniel Gonzalez, good morning, my man. Saud, good morning. Eric Watts, good morning. Screaming Lunatic Design Agency. Nice. Good morning. Christian Reynoso, good morning. Victor Solorzano. It's always good trying to pronounce people's names, man, in the morning. Gotta love it. Let's see what we got on continuous jobless claims today. So they came in a little bit higher than expected here. 1688 was the forecast. They came in at 1754. So a little bit of a higher expected number there. But it is a-okay. All right, let's wait a few more minutes for everybody to tune in here. Victor, good morning. Ritish, good morning. Don, what's going on, my man? Good morning. Mar, good morning. Caddy, good morning. Martin Cortez, good morning. Delta Bravo, good morning from Ottawa. Matt Massaro, good morning. Josh, good morning. First time catching the live stream. Looking forward to it. Nice, my man. Let's go. QQQ seems to be really respecting the 100 moving average. Setting too many accounts. I don't know. What is your Discord name? I'm interested to know who that is. Nico Perez, good morning. Jeffrey, good morning. Or Jeffy, good morning. Awesome, man. Awesome. So we usually wait till 8:35, but another minute to go here. Once we get to 8:35, hopefully everyone is already here. For those of you guys that have already showed up and are ready to go on time, go ahead and smash the like button. There's about 95 of you here and only 14 likes. So let's get those likes up. I would definitely appreciate it. YouTube also likes it when you guys like my content. So we'll see how that kind of pans out here. Good morning from Atlanta. What's going on, Luca? Daniel, good morning. Scott, good morning. All right, guys, a few more seconds here and we'll jump right in. Don't want to waste too much time. I'm probably going to have a lot of questions near the end, so I want to get through the first half as quickly as I can so I can address a lot of the people that are tuning in with some questions. All right, guys, 8:35, we'll get it going here. We have a fairly good amount of people in here, so let's get it going. Okay, guys, so obviously SPY, we had this massive sell-off, and a big reason behind this is not just the FOMC minutes and kind of what took place there, but mainly because we had this nice pattern breakout. We had a flag kind of forming, and we broke that flag to the downside. So lots of people were buying calls here, expecting this little flag on the SPY to break out and continue going higher. We lost that momentum at 473.58 and continued selling off. Obviously a big sell-off, also losing that 20 moving average. But there is some levels that we need to monitor today in order to see, what kind of direction that we can go towards. All right, so I'm going to get into the closer time frame. I'm going to pull up my actual levels here, and this is what we're looking at, right? We can clearly see that these levels that I have here are being respected, right? These are after hours and pre-market trading that I wasn't essentially watching the markets for. However, my lines were respected because these are key support and resistance levels that I have drawn leading up to these highs, and now on the way back down, they're being respected, right? So resistance levels, when coming back down, they're acting as support levels, and this is exactly what we got. So what are we looking at in regards to the SPY today, right? So we want to see what's going to happen at this 467 level. If we're able to hold this 467 level, great. We can try to attempt back to this 469.50, and if you guys take a look here, we actually have a little bit of an inverse head and shoulder forming. All right, now it doesn't mean that this is exactly what's going to happen. It's just something that's kind of presenting itself here in the pre-market. The neckline break would be this 469.52. Okay, so if we open here, consolidate, and penetrate through this, we could come back to this 470.65, 472, and ultimately this 473.50 level. All right, so this move down, that was pretty fluid, and if we can reverse here, we could try to get into this area today, at least if we can penetrate and reverse over this 469 level. All right, now with that said, if we lose this 467 to the downside, what are we looking at to move towards, right? We have quite a bit of levels that we need to monitor. One of them being this 466, right? This 466 is being respected right here before market closed last night and in the early sessions this morning. All right, if we lose that 466 level, we could come down to the 465, 464.50, and then under that, if we're unable to hold this, we have a big pocket to this 462. All right, so the levels to kind of watch, again, to refresh you guys, 469, 469.52, and also that 467.37. All right, that's in regards to the Qs. Now, if we look at, that's in regards to the SPY. Now, if we look at the Qs, take a look at where the Qs are in regards to the SPY. So I'll flash back to the SPY again. Right, we can see we closed here, sold off, but we gained some energy and we kind of popped back up here a little bit, right? And if we go back to the Qs, it's not looking as much like that, right? We have a clear weakness showing here, right? We had that nice little inverse head and shoulders on the SPY kind of present itself in the pre-market. However, Qs are starting to look a little weak, all right? Gonna put my levels back up here on Qs, and these are the kind of levels that we need to monitor on the Qs. All right, so we're looking at this 381.61 level. If we can maintain this level out of the open, out of the gates, great. We can look to kind of backtrack to this 383 and ultimately pop back up to this 387 and 389, right? We can see that this sell-off here with the SPY and the Qs is essentially the same look we have on the SPY. So if we can kind of get this back and hold this above here and get the SPY to push, most likely we'll get the market to kind of move, and the Qs will come back up here in this level as well. All right, now if we lose that level, that 381.67 level, then we can see a pull down towards this 379, 378, under that nice little pocket down to the 376. All right, so these are the two levels we're going to monitor going into the open today. On the Qs, 381.61, and on the downside, 381.61, and on the top side, 383.33. All right, so we'll monitor those going into the session and see how that kind of pans out. All right, now let's jump into the free alerts. Excuse my cough, guys. So pins, what do we have here on pins? We're looking at the free alerts. For those of you that haven't seen them, it is on Twitter. You guys can kind of see them right here. Pins, 33 calls over 33 and 3250 puts under 3250, right? Why is that? So we can clearly see we have this support here at 3250, right? If we can break that 32.50, I'm looking for this to kind of roll over. And if we can get back above that 33, we can look to kind of push this back up towards the upside. Nice little consolidation here. We had this resistance at 33 at this level right here. So watching this, if it pops back up and market decides to move up, we could take this up to the upside, with 33 being the trigger point to the upside, and under the 32.50, we'll get that sell-off to the downside, right? Simply because we have these resistance points, we have these support points and we have these resistance points that we can monitor for quick triggers, and we do have a fluid move that we can kind of fill into. All right, next one on the list, W day. Let's take a look at the W day daily chart here. So we can see this massive sell-off. What I'm really interested in on this one is more the downside move versus the upside move, right? We have this big sell-off, tried to pop back up yesterday, failed, and almost putting in a decent 3-bar play here. So if we get back to it, we're looking on W day for a 245 put under 245, right? And that's simply because we have this prior low, essentially, is what I'm looking for. I don't want to take the trigger at 246, simply because if we sell off, this 245 can act as support, right? So I'm waiting for this 245 to break. Once that breaks, we should fall into a nice, pocket that there isn't much support under. I should see a nice sell-off. All right, now if this pops back up over the 251, which is right here, and we have clear resistance right here, we should see the move at least back to this prior high of 258. All right, so these are the two levels I'm looking at for W day. More likely I'm watching the downside, again, simply because the downside has been just set up just where the market has kind of been in the last few days. But we could also reverse if the market decides to push. That's why we have these triggers on both sides available. Next one on the list, QCOM. Let me pull up QCOM here. Let's go look at the daily chart on QCOM. All right, so QCOM, an impressive move yesterday, a nice push over this little resistance line that we had at 187.50 and made a nice significant push, right? Now, everybody who caught this is kind of buried on this name, all right? What I'm looking for on this one, if it can break these lows here, this 185 level, right? The 185 level, if it can break this level, there's really not much support until the 181, right? We can come down right until the 181 level, and that's kind of what I'm looking at here on the Qs. Sorry, on the QCOM. If we can break 185, we'll see a nice flush to at least this 182, 181 level, and that's what I'm looking for on the downside. On the upside, I would need to clear this resistance that we prior had, that we broke out of yesterday and tried to respect again as support yesterday as well. So we would need to get back over that 187.50 for me to kind of take this to the upside. All right, so these are the three things that we're watching for the free alerts. I'm going to jump into the chat here, guys. I want to make sure I get through as much questions as I can for you guys. I know you guys kind of tune in here so you can kind of hear some of the stocks that you like to watch. But when you guys do post your stocks, let me know if you want it for a day trade, swing trade, and if you're looking to buy calls or puts. Don't just put ticker ? That's not going to really help me, and it's probably just going to waste both of our times. So put a ticker, let me know if you're day trading it for calls or puts, or if you want to swing trade it, and I can take a look at all of those for you. All right, just going to go down the list here. As you guys have already probably posted some stuff here. Good morning, a very early 5:30 a.m. from Los Angeles. Good morning, Kishna. 15 likes. Let's go ahead and get those likes up, guys. 147 of you in here. I think it's the most I've seen actually on this live stream. So let's go ahead and smash that like button. I appreciate it. Last minute SPX flow yesterday is frightening. Yeah, that kind of does happen when the market kind of pulls. They try to profit as much as they can on the way down. What about DCT gap fill? Let's take a look at DCT. Don't really see a gap to fill here unless we're talking about all the way up here, but that's nowhere near for it to start gap filling. So definitely don't see the gap fill on DCT here. 3M is flushing today from 179. I see resistance at 176. Will it be a good entrance for long term? 3M, so that's MMM, is flushing today from 179. I don't really see a flush on 3M. For long term, again, I don't know much about this company and how the financials look and what it's done in the long term. But you know, at this area, I wouldn't mind if you're going to start a position. Again, ultimately, it goes back to how you read their finances and what you actually believe in on the company. Personally, not a company that I would invest in. I think the chart here is just way too jumpy and choppy for me to invest in it for the long term. Just way too gappy and jumpy, and it doesn't respect any of the moving averages. Not something that I would invest in the long term on 3M. But if you've done your research and understand what you're really going to own, you can start a 1/4 position here and possibly look to add around the 160s, and then worst case scenario add at the 140s and get yourself a nice average here on 3M. Good. Get you some water. Yeah, I gotta get some water. NVAX, please. Not sure what you want to do with NVAX, but let me take a look at NVAX. Let's take a look at NVAX. So NVAX is coming into support at this 117 level, right? I would have loved it for the puts yesterday when it broke down, but it is coming into the 117 level. Would I really have to watch it to see what it does under that 117? Let's take a look at the time frame here. So, I mean, on NVAX, if you're looking to trade this, possibly calls over the 127. For downside, you would need to at least break 117, which is that prior support, and that's the only thing that I would do with this one right now. Over that 127, can push, at least try to retest this high of 135 on NVAX. As a new trader, how do I start? As a new trader, how do you start? I would definitely say study and learn patterns. Get yourself a charting software and sit in front of the monitor from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. and look at charts every single day and tell yourself why this is working, why it's not working. Use the patterns that you've identified, try to find them on the intraday level charts, and just study those and paper trade for at least 4 to 5 months before you actually use some real money. Upside day trade. Yeah, so the upside day trade would be over that 127 level on NVAX. So you're seeing on pins, if it hits 333, it'll be a 30 call. If it hits 33.30, it'll be a 33 call, not a 30 call. It's written on the tweet. Microsoft for a swing trade. Again, I don't think this market is ready for a swing trade. So the answer to your question for a swing trade is absolutely no. Microsoft is in a position where it's lost this major pivot. It could consolidate, or it could really flush back down to this 305 level. So for a swing trade on Microsoft, absolutely not at this moment. CVS, guys, for those of you guys that are asking about swing trades, look at what the market did yesterday. This market is not ready for swing trades. Okay, if you guys are swing trading simply because you have a PDT account, well then you need to move to a broker that allows you to cash trade, allows you to use a cash account, so you don't have to buy and hold for 3 or 5 days. This market is not a market to swing trade. We have days where energy sector is gapping up, and then next day the energy sector is completely red. This is not an environment to swing trade. All right. The SPY yesterday is a clear example of that. Everybody and their mother thought the SPY was going to go higher. We broke levels, we came down, right? So now all those people are buried. So wait for better conditions before swing trading. CVS, I don't see a pattern here on a swing trade, so I would have to say no to that. If there was a pattern, if there was some sort of a pennant, I would definitely swing trade it. However, now it's just pushing up, too extended from the moving averages, and your downside risk is way too much in regards to your upside reward. AMD day trade puts. Take a look at AMD. AMD, some support there. Let's take a look at the 50-minute time frame. So similar look to the market. It's pretty much following the market here. If we can get it under the 135, it should push down to the 133.50 and then break that. You could see lower, right? This is going to be a very market-dependent name today, as it usually is. So keep an eye on it. Under that 135, it should see a flush. And if it pops back up over the 137.30, we should see a continuation higher on this one. PayPal day trade. God, this throw up mine, man. PayPal day trade. So let's take a look at this. It looks like it's getting ready to fall off a cliff here. So PayPal, we had this support right here at this 187. We broke it yesterday. I actually like this to the downside, to be honest with you. So let's take a look at the 15-minute time frame. This level of 187 was support. We penetrated it yesterday. Looks like we're failing to get back above. I would definitely look to buy puts under 185.70 on this one. Has room to fall to that 181. All right, so with market weakness, that looks like we're kind of pulling back here a little bit. 185.70 or even 185. No, probably 185.50 if you want to be safer. Would be the downside, and you could buy puts on this one. I really like that one. I'm going to actually make note of that. Next one, smash that like button. Thank you, Nancy. Do you normally use the daily candles for drawing support and resistance lines? Yes, I mainly use the daily candles for support and resistance lines. Snap, more room to downside, or time for lead calls? So I've explained this before. If I'm looking to invest in anything long term, I will not buy options because absolutely not a good time to start leaps on Snap. Simply because with long terms, it's a long term for a reason. As soon as you put a time on it, well, then it no longer becomes long term, right? To me, long term is I believe in the company. I'm going to follow them along until I see profits. When you buy leaps, and usually people are buying leaps for a year out, that 1 year can come very quickly and you're going to get smoked. I know people who bought charge point leaps for a year from last year and they're getting smoked right now, right? So don't buy your long-term positions with options. I don't like fighting time. I don't like fighting volatility. I simply want to buy shares, be able to cost average down, and that is what my long-terms consist of. In regards to Snap, we broke this 43 support. There's really not much support until 38.33, and under that, we really get into trouble with Snap. So definitely not a place that I would be looking to start a position here on Snap. Possibly maybe at the 38 level, you can have your starters. Let's see here. What's next? NVIDIA 32.5 calls expiring February. Again, no, I don't really see a swing in this. So, I mean, NVIDIA can come down and break this 271 and flush even lower. So, I don't see a bullish pattern. We're under ball moving averages, so I would have to say no to that as well. I have 121 Amazon call, but the big Amazon broke the support of 30.30. Should I cut or hold? Again, goes back to why were you swinging these calls in a market that is not really swing worthy. If it breaks 32.70, it will come down lower. Your next big support is at 31.75 on Amazon. 32.72 level. If that breaks, it should see further downside. So you have to get this to kind of bounce in the next few days here, or your option is going to get smoked. Sorry I'm late. Here I am, relaxing sounds. Good morning. Tesla, like to buy a couple shares. What's a good price to buy? Tesla, if you're looking to buy, you want to buy as close to this 200 as possible for a long-term position. Our last entries on Tesla was around, I think, 630 if I'm not mistaken. That was the first position I took on Tesla, and I haven't sold ever since. Next entries on Tesla, I wouldn't touch Tesla until maybe that 930, 950 level. And then ultimately under that, I would love to get 796 on it. So right now, I wouldn't buy Tesla for long term. What do I see on Tesla today? Tesla's coming into moving averages, so I mean it should bounce here soon. But if it gets under that 1056 level, it's going to flush down to the 1014, right? A lot of names kind of coming into support, so they're either going to bounce or they're going to sell off at those key pivot areas, right? Lots of strong supports right now. If they break, then they're going to get further flushes. So that's kind of what we're dealing with today. We have to kind of watch those. Microsoft for swing trade, I think I already discussed Microsoft. What is your best advice for smaller accounts? I would definitely say, focus on trading patterns and not just, trying to anticipate a move. Focus on getting in and out, respecting your percentage gains. Don't try to aim for home runs. 50, 60, 70% sometimes don't come as quickly as 20, 30% come. So take your profits as they come. Asking Diego, we've already talked about where the SPY's going today. You're a little late, I guess. Beverly Clinton, no swings, 10 years up, right? No swings simply because market conditions is not really stable. I don't really care what the 10-year yield does. Can you please elaborate on that? This market is not good for swing trades. Maybe a visual element. Cues for you, questions for you. It's not reliable in a sense that, first of all, VIX is jumping up and down. There isn't any good patterns that are out there. Every other day we're kind of jumping up and down. The SPY is getting volatile. We don't have stable direction. So we need to wait for things to kind of settle out. There's still a lot of uncertainty with Omicron. There's too much going on in the background that's creating volatility, that's creating algos to do erratic things. That's something that I'm not interested in fighting against, essentially. Walmart calls for day trade. Walmart did us very good yesterday. However, it hit that 145 and rejected. For a day trade, I don't really have a specific setup here on Walmart. You know, we have these resistance points that we need to kind of get over. I really don't have anything on Walmart for day trade here. Maybe if it gets back over the 144.30, again, that's a forced trade. There isn't clear areas that we can fall towards or push towards. We have resistance on the way up. It's not going to be a fluid directional move. So not something that I want you to kind of put your money in. There's definitely way better things you can invest in for day trading than that. Can VIX be used to evaluate if the market is good for swings or not? Can you suggest VIX levels? Yeah, 100%. So if you're taking a look at the VIX, guys, look how much the VIX has spiked, all right? When the VIX comes back down to these levels of 16, 15, 14 area, these are the areas that you kind of want to swing. However, the VIX constantly has been jumping up, right? See how from here we have like small consolidation sideways, or we just continue going sideways for some time. These are the days, or these are the times where you want to start kind of swing trading. However, now it's just not it. There's still too much uncertainty. We got this pop back up, so now we got to wait for the VIX to come all the way back down, and then see if it holds down there for a few days before putting on more risk as swing trading goes. I don't have any swing trades on. And for me, when the market pulled, I'm sitting here with my legs up laughing. And simply because I understand, I feel the market, and I know it's not ready for a swing trade. When there isn't a lot of swing trade setups, then there's nothing to swing trade. And even if the environment is swing trade worthy, the chart has to have some sort of a pattern for me to trade it. I don't just trade because, you know, I see X and X, or the sentiment is bullish. I don't give a rat's ass for any of that. I need to have a pattern. I need to have good risk to reward, and that's when I take the swing trade. In the Discord, people hassle me all the time about taking swings. Give us swings, give us swings, give us swings. But to be honest, if it's not something I'm going to take, I'm not going to put it out there for anyone else to take. And until the market shows me it's going to calm down and settle down and let the stocks do what they want without interrupting it due to the massive market pullbacks that we get, then until then, I'm not going to put on any swings. BBBY run with earnings call just happening. BBBY. I saw that kind of pushing pre-market. To be honest, I'm not really interested in this ticker simply because Reddit was all over it. So anything Reddit touches, I stay the fuck away from. INTC rally continue. INTC has been moving nicely, and it came into this 200 moving average and rejected. So at the moment, the rally is pretty much getting smoked here. So this level right here is a level that you need to hold. If it holds above that and gets back over 54.50, you could try to track back. However, the momentum looks like it's killed on the daily chart as we have this massive ugly red candle here. But if we get over the 54.50 level, it could try to day trade it for a little bit higher here. What time frame should I follow as a new beginner? 1 day, 1 month? So on your brokerage or on your trading platform, you want to choose daily candles. Look for these daily candles and then identify your support and resistance lines. Seeing 56% bullish premium on MU today. I see calls above 95, puts below 94. The entire QQQ plummets today for a day trade. Also, job reports tomorrow. Could see the rest day today. I think job numbers came out today, didn't they? Can you please look into BKNG for swing calls? I guess, like I said, there's no swinging in this market. People just refuse to listen. There's nothing here to swing on BKNG. Would you buy anything for today for long-term investment? No, I don't really have my eyes on anything today for long-term investment. I was looking to invest in PLTR, but it broke down even lower, so now I have to wait for some more. I'm glad I don't just buy. This is why, guys, I tell you have to wait. Be patient when you're looking to invest in your long-term accounts. I'm still waiting. I might add to BABA in the next few days, but I need it to kind of show me that it's going to hold above this 110 level. But nothing that I would add in the long term today. NVIDIA day trade, I think we already spoke about that. Looking to start a long-term position on TTD. I thought they would be supported at 81. I was wrong. TTD, let's take a look at TTD. Yeah, so we have this volume congestion right here, right? If we can get back to the 76 level, if you haven't started a position, you can start a position there, 1/4 or 1/5, then look to add at the bottom of this area of 65, and ultimately you want to add at the 48 level, right? You need to give yourself room to add on your long-term positions. What chart platform will you recommend? TrendSpider, TradingView, or TD Thinkorswim? MU for day trade. I think MU, not something that I'm going to mess with today. I don't like how this candle broke. However, if we do get MU back down below the 90s, I will be watching it. However, at these levels, I'm not really interested in it. There is some support right here. If we can break the 93.50, we can see a fall down to the 93, and under that 91. However, for the upside, it's too much resistance for me to trade this on the upside. Nancy, you're the best. All right, guys, it's 9:01 here. I gotta head back to the room and get ready for the trading day. Just remember, every single Thursday at 8:30 a.m. I am here going through these charts and helping you guys with your questions that you may have. If I did miss any of your questions, you can always reach out to me on Twitter or Discord. Shoot out the ticker that I missed, and I'll kind of go over there with you guys. However, right now, I got to get back to the room. Love every single one of you guys. If you're still here, make sure you smash that like button, and this video will be on YouTube. You guys can watch it later on. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you so much, and have a safe trading day. Make sure you keep your eyes on the SPY and the Q as you are trading. All right, guys, thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.